We have a crazy, fun bunch of kids. We have 5. So it's kind of crazy, but they're really fun. We have 2.
4 of the 5 in April.
4 of the 5 have
all
birthdays in 1 week. It's crazy. So
We have Christmas and then birthday week.
So we have 2 sons that are biologically ours, and we have 3 adopted daughters.
You know, becoming a father really opens your eyes to the realities of the world we live in today, especially how the government and the culture can impact our ability to raise our kids in a God-honoring way. It's really been impressed upon me how the decisions we're making today to promote or restrict freedom are going to impact my daughter's ability to live out her faith for years to come.
A lot of what we're doing every day, it's not about our generation, it's about the next generation. It's about standing in the gap for the next generation and ultimately passing the baton to our kids and grandkids, and that's what it's all about.
You know, we need to understand where we've been to know where we're going. And at CCV, I know I'm leading an organization that for years has always understood the times and known how to address them. It started in the 1980s with the explosion of pornography across the state, but especially in the Cincinnati area. And then it grew from there to address the challenges to life, to marriage and family, and religious freedom. So this work is only going to continue to grow because the need for a strong, effective, and compassionate voice at the State House is only getting stronger.
So I got involved because I felt like women deserved more than one choice. I felt like women deserved hope, and I felt like women deserved relationships that could help them see other possibilities. There's nothing better than to hold a precious child who almost didn't make it into the world. Knowing that you've been able to give a woman so much hope and so much support, that she was able to choose life for her child and in some senses choose life for herself.
Religious freedom is about the ability to have your faith impact all aspects of your lives. And for Christians, this is essential to us because our faith inspires us to do so much good for our community, to love our neighbors, to serve the poor, to serve the orphan, the widow, the stranger, the trafficked, the addicted. It calls us to reach out and help those in our neighborhood and lay down our lives every day. And it also allows us to pass on those values of compassion to our children.
As a parent, I want the right to, with my husband and through prayer, to decide what is best for our kids. That's a really important thing to me, that we have in this country, is the right to make those decisions for our kids and to instill the values that we feel are important.
As men and women of faith, I believe we have an obligation to be active in the process, be active in our democracy, and do everything we can to protect religious freedom and protect the ability of God-fearing men and women to practice their faith and raise their kids the way they want.
We live in a culture that is growing increasingly hostile to the gospel-centered life, and this isn't surprising by any means. In fact, it's predictable.
Our families are at risk, our communities are at risk, organizations are now being put at risk as well.
But it feels like, and I don't know if it's just being a parent, but it definitely feels like there's a lot of pressure, and maybe even, I would even call it like prejudice against Christian, maybe more conservative kind of views.
But the only question is, how do we respond? Do we shrink back? Do we lash out in anger? Do we compromise the fundamental truths we know in our bones to be God ordained? Or do we move forward, move onward confidently because of the hope we have within us?
Ohioans, we need to be aware that we must stand up. We've got to have people like CCV available to help us forge ahead, keep a watch on legislative activities, and make sure that we take care of our own.
Freedom doesn't come easy.
It's incredible that here in the state of Ohio, we've got an organization like CCV that's willing to stand in the gap, that's willing to stand strong.
CCV has stood the test of time. They're here, they're active, they're representing us, and we have to get involved.
You know, it's in our DNA to be a grassroots organization that's empowering you to make the difference. And ultimately, when we don't get discouraged and when we move forward in confidence, we'll all be amazed at the change we can make.
I think we want to raise kids that say, I've seen broken things get fixed. Let's at least, roll our shirt sleeves up and get in there. I think that is the kind of culture that I hope that our children participate in and can bear witness to in their own lives, that they've seen those things.
Seeing mountains move.
Yeah.